So as it relates to IR debt, in the software industry, which is sort of our tertiary industry, there's a concept of building software without really enough strategic consideration for the future. And eventually that builder has to pay back its debt. So they have to go back and they have to fix their original code, given what the software has become. And the temptation to do this is, of course, very real because everyone wants to move quickly. It's uncomfortable to move slowly, especially when it's intentional. But the debt can be really expensive and can drastically slow you down and even potentially turn you around. So companies can sink under software debt. And that's actually something that I think a lot of our competitors deal with. And so the same goes for IR debt. So companies will either rush to the market, all of a sudden want to be a full-fledged, mature public company without much of an idea for what that looks like for them specifically. So of course, that's a great goal, but it takes time to build that muscle. If it's not built correctly, it just won't last. And so this is true for companies where there's been a lot of turnover, either in management or within the IR function specifically. And the result of that is like they're starting from scratch. So in my opinion, it's not entirely baseless to say that companies will fail because of IR debt or have failed because of IR debt, or at least, they didn't turn the company around or, reach the potential that they could have had they not had that debt. So the way to avoid it is to slow down, right? Take the time to actually formulate a strategy, even before going public. I would say increasingly so. We are working with companies that are going public in the 6 to 12 month range, and they're starting to build that strategy and build that muscle. So I would say find those strategies that are really good. Find those that also are potentially not so good. So you have a sort of idea of what the spectrum of IR looks like, and then form a thesis around what's the right strategy for you and your IR team, and then build on that. Of course, it'll always have to be iterative, but again, it has to start somewhere. There has to be a strong foundation built around a thesis. Otherwise, you have to pay that debt, and it could be when you least want to pay it, have the capacity to pay it. And in a market like this, it's certainly not the time to be doing it.